Shishi. Shishir was the earliest of the four beauties, said to have lived during the spring and autumn period around the 5th century BCE. At this time, China was not unified. It was divided into multiple feudal states, constantly at war. Shishir came from the state of Yue, which had recently been defeated and humiliated by its rival, the state of Wu. According to legend, after the defeat, the Yue king sought a strategy to exact revenge. He decided not to rebuild through sheer military force, but to weaken Wu from within. One part of the plan involved grooming a beautiful woman who could infiltrate the Wu court and distract the king. Shishir, a commoner of exceptional beauty, was selected for this task. She was trained in the arts of conversation, music, and etiquette, then presented to King Fuchai of Wu as a tribute. King Fuchai quickly became infatuated. As his obsession with Shishir deepened, he began to ignore state affairs. His advisors' warnings went unheard. He poured resources into building luxurious palaces and entertaining his consort. Meanwhile, the state of Yue silently rebuilt its strength. Years later, when King Fuchai had fully fallen into decadence and complacency, Yue launched a surprise campaign. Wu was defeated, and the long-planned revenge was complete. The end of Shishir's story is unclear. Some accounts say she retired peacefully with Fan Li, the Yue minister who orchestrated the plan and had fallen in love with her. Wang Zhaojun lived during the Western Han Dynasty, around the 1st century BCE. Her story differs from Ji Shi's in that it is centered not on seduction and sabotage, but on diplomacy and sacrifice. She was selected to serve as a palace lady, one of many waiting for the emperor to choose them as a concubine. However, the emperor made his choices based on painted portraits, and the court painters were often bribed to flatter the women's images. Wang Zhaojun refused to bribe the painter. As a result, her portrait was rendered plain and unremarkable. She remained unnoticed by the emperor, overlooked despite her extraordinary beauty. Then came a political dilemma. The powerful nomadic Xiongnu tribes to the north sought peace through marriage. A diplomatic alliance required a Han woman to marry the Xiongnu chieftain. Wang Zhaojun was chosen for this duty. When the emperor saw her in person for the first time, he was astonished by her beauty. But by then, it was too late to reverse the arrangement. Wang Zhaojun's marriage helped bring temporary peace between the Han and the Xiongnu, and she lived the rest of her life on the steppe, far from her homeland. Diao Chan. The third of the four beauties, Jiao Chan, is the most mysterious. Unlike Shishi and Wang Zhaojun, whose historical existence is at least somewhat supported by ancient texts, Jiao Chan is largely a fictional character. Her story appears in the Ming Dynasty historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which fictionalizes real events from the chaotic end of the Eastern Han Dynasty in the 2nd century CE. Jiao Chan was a servant in the household of the minister Wang Yin. At the time, China was in a state of decline, and the corrupt and brutal warlord Dong Zhuo had taken control of the imperial court. Protected by his adoptive son, the fearsome general Liu Bu, Dong Zhuo was untouchable. Wang Yin devised a plan to pit the two men against each other, using Jiao Chan's beauty as the catalyst. She was introduced to Dong Zhuo as a concubine, who quickly became enamored with her. Behind his back, she also seduced Liu Bu, playing the part of a loyal, terrified woman trapped by a tyrant. Torn between duty and desire, Liu Bu's jealousy grew. Jiao Chan fanned the flames of suspicion, and eventually, Liu Bu murdered Dong Zhuo in a violent palace coup. Jiao Chan then disappears from the record. Her ultimate fate is uncertain. Yang Guifei. Yang Guifei lived during the height of the Tang Dynasty in the 8th century CE. Her story is the most documented and tragic of the four. Born Yang Yuhuan, she became a consort of Emperor Xuanzong and rose to become his favorite. Her beauty was so renowned that it was said flowers bowed in shame as she passed, earning her the title of the woman who made flowers feel inferior. Yang Guifei's influence over the emperor was immense. He doted on her, showered her with gifts, and allowed her family, especially her cousin Yang Guozhong, to gain high positions in government. This favoritism bred resentment and corruption. As governance faltered, the powerful general An Lushan launched a rebellion against the Tang court. As An Lushan's army approached the capital, Emperor Xuanzong fled with Yang Guifei and his entourage. But the soldiers blamed Yang Guifei and her family for the unrest. They refused to continue the march unless she was executed. Reluctantly, and under immense pressure, the emperor gave in. Yang Guifei was forced to hang herself at Mawei Courier Station. Though the emperor lived on, he never emotionally recovered.